We're here this morning to call the January 9th, 2024 Administrative Services.
We're all.
Roll call. Pam.
Here.
Teresa.
Here.
Matt.
Yep.
And I'm here. We are missing Eric and Gloria and Terry. If she's tried to sign in, can I have a motion to let her sign in if she does get to it?
If she, yeah.
Moved by Teresa, second by Matt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay. The second item is minutes of approval, November 8th.
Second.
All right, moved by Teresa, seconded by Pam. Any changes or corrections?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
They are approved. Public comment, anything down there?
We have none?
Okay, pass public comment. Members' comments. Don't all jump in at once?
All good.
All right. New business. First item is Shelly. Come on up.
Sure.
Shelly's reapplying to be on the Ethics Commission. I think she knows who we all are, but I'm Joe Godwell in case you don't remember, but that's okay.
Okay, well, I'll talk for my client. Yes. Did you say client? Yes. Teresa Mashas.
Matt Kunkel.
So you've done it for a little while. I don't think you had any hearings, correct?
Correct.
You still want to do this again?
Yes. It's a lot of training, and I feel like I've gone through 3 years of training. I may as well keep going. So, yeah.
Questions for the board?
Just a comment.
Overly qualified.
Right.
Yeah, and just a comment. I mean, I think that those are the kinds of things that we really need to be cognizant of when we ask for people to reapply, is the amount of time that we ourselves have invested, as well as the applicants themselves. Ethics is a little bit different than a lot of the commission, so I think it's important that, we've trained you and haven't used you yet, so.
Right.
And haven't abused you yet either. That's good.
That's true. Exactly. Well, it's good that you haven't needed us, but at the same time, it is a lot of work. So, yeah.
Questions of us?
No, I'm good.
I know it's a long interview. I'm sorry you dragged all the way out there to snow. Go ahead.
Is sitting here not having actually gone through anything, substantive, is the training, do you have any comments for us that we should be doing different or looking at differently?
No, I think.
You feel well prepared?
Absolutely. I think Scott Hartman does a fantastic job on making sure that we are.
What should you pay for that, Scott?
But no, we really are trained well. We do, mock cases. We really dive into the actual ordinance quite a lot. So I feel like we're fairly well trained. Certainly after 3 years, I feel well trained. I think I said in my application that we have a young commission right now. I think me and Vanessa are the oldest members of the longest standing members of the commission. So, just trying to make sure as we get all these new members that keep coming on that they continue to get trained. So.
Is the term length 3 years?
Yeah.
Is there any thought that maybe you make that longer?
We still have an opening right now.
Yeah, and that burdens them too, so I don't know. The 3 and coming back to us seems all right, especially we would never pass on somebody who has the training and the skills for this.
That's what we did last year.
We did, yes. Thank you very much, Teresa.
Right.
But we did do that. I was going to say, we lost what I thought was a good member last year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, which is why I'm saying. So, I just maybe in some kind of conversation later when it's more appropriate, maybe it's something that we look at, and like the Conservation District, that's a 5-year term. Maybe because ethics does require so much training and is it used on a regular basis, maybe that's something that we should visit.
Do you personally think that because we stirred the pot a little bit or made a few changes, just to not get things static or stale, do you think we've hindered our ethics board?
It's hard to say because there hasn't been an actual hearing, but
you know the people that are there.
Correct. I do think we lost, the person we lost wasn't even on the commission very long. I think he filled
He did.
Space.
the space, right? And so he wasn't even on it very long, and then he was suddenly off. But I thought he had good qualifications, and he was a good participating member of the commission. You know, has it hindered it? I don't know. I mean, I think the 3 years, I don't really know. I know one of the members that didn't reapply she's just like too much training, right? And not enough action. And so.
Well, we're not gonna be unethical just to give you action.
No, for sure. But maybe it would encourage people to stick around a little longer if they didn't have to keep reapplying.
Hey, you think that would?
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like-
that's what I, yeah,
Because
that's
they
what
can
I'm thinking
always,
too.
they can always
that's a fact.
resign, but, you know, kind of getting some longevity, I think would be helpful.
Okay.
Would it help to give you a set of training? Would it help to have you come to a board meeting, for instance, and say, here's what the issues are, or here's what the ethics standards are, something, just some training of, you know, just tell the rest of the board what's going on, because we have new board members, I'll bet, have never read that ordinance.
I'm sure, but again, that's not, again, you can do that, but that's not my issue. My issue is we've invested, you do need to be trained. It's a serious, when it
Serious
happens,
job,
it's
yeah.
serious, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you invest huge amounts of time in training these people and having them work together in those mock, you know, situations, and then nothing happens and they roll off, or I'm just thinking, if you know you're committed to this for a longer period of time, 3 years goes by pretty quick, particularly when you're a little older. I'm just thinking that maybe we want to talk about a longer extended period, you know.
Wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, I think it's worth the discussion.
My guess is there's a statute on it, but I don't know.
So let's look.
Right, yeah, I agree, let's look and see,
You
'cause-
raised your hand back.
It's in your ethics ordinance. It was 2 years, and then the most recent change in February 2000, I believe, it went to 3 years. So that's within your prerogative to change that term.
Just for
But it's by-
further
but it's by
discussion.
ordinance.
It's a future topic.
Okay.
It is, yes. But I appreciate that you're stayed on, that you're the chair of the committee. I agree that you are very qualified, and I'm very pleased that you are interested in staying.
Yes, thank you.
And if you wondered how this thing 2 points later in the agenda, just realize that we're the only 4 people voting today.
Exactly. And you have 2 people filling 3 positions. This is not good.
But thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Is, oh, she's online.
She's online.
Good. Okay. Good morning, Vanessa, if you can hear us. Maybe not. Can you hear us, Vanessa? Not seeing any reaction, so maybe we gotta turn that on.
Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that.
Okay, can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Okay. Good morning. Thanks for zooming in on us today. I assume you remember all of us, but just in case, I'm Joe Gotteballer.
Pamela Altoff, good morning.
Like, is this the camera?
It's over there.
Oh, I'm Teresa Machas.
And Matt Kunkel.
Thank you for reapplying. We're glad that you wanted to stick around. Is there anything you would like to tell us about being on the commission right now?
I can share that it's been an enlightening experience, just learning a little bit about what the ethics ordinance is about and about how complaints would be handled. So I feel like that experience and going through some mock cases would be helpful should we encounter a complaint in the near future.
What questions for you folks?
Well, we were just discussing making the terms longer. Do you think that that would help with consistency, or do you think that that is, do you have any thoughts on the idea of us making these terms longer than 3 years?
I actually think it would be a very good idea, primarily because the amount of time that we've spent just since, so I was appointed at the beginning of 2021, and it has taken quite a bit of time just to understand more about what sort of complaints we would be able to hear and to give input on versus what would go to a state's attorney. And I think all of that background and understanding, could be lost very quickly with shorter terms. So I think longer terms are probably a good idea.
Any other? Well, I know it was hard on you this morning getting up on Zoom, but thank you for calling in. I don't have
figured
anything else.
I would save you all from my raspy voice and just getting over my cold in addition to the slightly wet streets out there.
Understood.
Well, thank you for reapplying. We're going to go to the next step, which was deliberation. And I think I can predict that you're going to make it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is deliberation. Can I have a motion to approve both of them? By Matt, seconded by Teresa. Any additional comments or changes or corrections or anything like that that you want to make? If not, then it will go to a vote. Pam?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. And that will go on to the full board meeting, well, committee of the whole, I assume, and then the full board meeting next week. That brings us to the routine consent agenda. Is there anything in specific that anyone would like to remove from the consent agenda?
I'd like a blush at 7.3, please.
Okay. Any other changes or any other requests?
Well, maybe 7.4, just to welcome.
And I'll make a motion to approve the routine consent agenda, 7.1, 7.2, 7.5.
Is there a second?
Second?
Second by Matt. All right, we go to vote. Pam?
Aye.
Matt?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes. That approves 7.1, 2, and 5. 7.3, can I have a motion so we can discuss it?
So moved.
Seconded.
Moved by Pam, second by Teresa. Matt, you got the floor.
Okay. Pretty simple one. When we first heard of what is happening now, I believe it was Terry Greeno asked, but I'd like to know what the current ancillary costs that we will mitigate by changing to this new facility. Mitigate and or remove completely. And I realize, Joe, that you're in the hunt right now. So I'm not looking for a cost benefit analysis of this, but I would like to see, there are storage facilities you're using and storing on. I realize there's additional labors that you use to be able to hump this stuff back and forth whenever you do this, and additional time. If it's not an egregious amount of work, and kind of even if it is, I'd really like to see some of these benefits to us moving.
Sure, and I can give you one that amongst us we talked about just yesterday, the day before yesterday. Training right now, because we don't have a facility big enough to train as many people in the time frame that we have, cost an extra $20,000, mostly in labor. That labor, hucking around machines and equipment and whatnot, could be used for the things that we hire them for, a more profitable use of their time. But instead, we're, for example, we drove out to the Shaw Center yesterday, set up training, find out that we're not going to have any training today after all. We'll end up having to go back there and take it down and then put it back up again. So that sort of thing would be mitigated. And that was an off the cuff. We sat there and did the math, and it was about $20,000 to $22,000 that we spend in that activity per election alone. So yeah, I'd be glad to put some other
So we have an
numbers
idea as a board that there is some absorption here or some benefit cost-wise.
Yeah.
Because obviously, you know, I know the benefits to the community, but we have to look at the numbers, and I'd like to look at that.
And then the other, just a couple other sort of softer points, that's the hard cash that happens. But what could be happening then is those people could be used to refine the training, reach out to election judges, make sure that everybody's clear on where they're going and when they're doing it. Proofing ballots, all this other work that they can't do or end up doing later during overtime, any number of other circumstances. But yeah, we'll put some things
Great,
together.
great.
Pam,
No, I think that's perfect.
you? Teresa?
No, I mean, I have been an election judge, and I have seen also how it takes over this building.
Yeah.
And so I see the need of it, but I also think that I agree. It's good to be able to put a financial savings or.
Yeah, and I think some of it will, I don't want to say open your eyes like to close, but
Right.
just for example, just the cost of training is just, and to me, the bigger sin is what they could be or should be doing instead of hauling equipment around. And it's hard to recruit and retain people, because when you say to an office worker, someone who's going to be a clerk, by the way, where it says you're going to lift 25 pounds, you're going to lift 25 pounds. You're going to lift it probably 300 to 600 times a year. So be ready for that.
And there are intangibles with that too, that I would say,
Yeah.
lifting 25 pounds, is that ultimately
Again,
going to be a
and like I
workers'
said,
comp issue?
I'm not looking for
Yeah.
a cost-benefit analysis. I'm just looking to see if there is some absorption of cost or some benefit to us.
Yeah.
Efficiencies too, what efficiencies? I mean,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
just mentioned, that would
Right.
be good too for me.
Right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
we'll get that in there. And I'll try to have that, I could probably put something together the next day or two, and if you're agreeable, I can
Great if we can
email
reach
it
out.
to you.
Yeah, that'd be super, yeah.
Okay,
That'd be great. Thank
All
you.
right,
done deal.
great, thank you very much.
Any other
questions?
corrections, changes, anything? All right. Vote, Pam,
Yes.
Matt,
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes, so that goes forward. Brings us, can I have a motion on 7.4?
So moved.
By Teresa, seconded by Matt. Come on up. Well, welcome. Go ahead, Pam.
But before we do this, can I just again thank everybody for that wonderful presentation on property taxes, et cetera. I use that all the time. I love it. Thank you.
Right, and so when I was alerted to the fact that you were going to be likely offered this position a couple months ago, because somebody in the public had mentioned to me what's going to happen with this position. And I said, well, I had met you through your presentations, and that I felt that you did an excellent job presenting to the board, and that likely did an excellent job in your current position. Do you, and this might be uncomfortable with your current boss right behind you, but do you see?
He's on his way out.
Do you have any have you thought of any focus you're going to have in your new tenure in this position?
Education, understand, getting to educate. You've seen what I can do with a pre-presentation, getting people to really understand the process and simplify it to a way where it makes a little bit more sense. That's what I would like to try to focus on in the short term. And then hopefully it just integrates with everything else. And once you get to educate people and they understand the process, everything else starts to fall into place. All right, well, that's the base biases that are built into what everyone understands as property taxes. That's state and federal taxes. Property taxes are a different thing. And there's a lot of filling in that people do that are so incorrect. So for me, education, even within the government, I mean, there was a township supervisor that at one point I know was quoted as saying, the equalization factor is the states get out of jail free card. And we're like, what? I'm not sure where that thought came from. And anyone hears state equalization, they want to scapegoat the state, you know, and I get it, this is where it's probably. But education, even within among
The township
everyone,
assessors, yes.
Everyone.
Right, because someone said to me that they saw your role as being an educator and getting the township assessors all together, and I had not thought too much about your role until it was brought up to me. But you do see that there needs to be
Yeah,
more
they're absolutely, yeah.
training for all.
Right, more training for all, and I think again, I come from a family of a whole bunch of teachers, so again, it's in me to do that. And technology, you can use the new technology currently to kind of move forward in doing some of that.
Well, welcome aboard.
Right, yeah, I mean, I
We're about to
congratulate you.
vote on this, but welcome aboard.
Yes.
And I will miss that old guy in the back.
Oh, I know. That's the one thing you might miss. I'm not as quick-witted as he is, so I'm a little bit more quiet, low-key.
All right, ready to vote?
Yes.
Teresa?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Pam?
Yes.
And I'll vote yes too. Thank you. Reports, capital plan update.
Good morning.
Good morning.
In 2024, we have approximately 15 projects that we will be working on. Either we'll be in construction or we will be developing plans and specs for construction in 2025. So the 5 projects that are currently approved and ongoing, the joint training, firing range and carry is at this point looks like it will be complete in April. It appears that the air handler will be installed and the equipment will be available to complete that project. We're kicking off with a project meeting for court services, interior renovations to increase the security of their lobby and do some other work to increase their training aspect of their current suite. Jail chiller project, that's just waiting now for the weather. We county board approved a contract with a mechanical contractor in November, I believe, or December. So that project, no activity yet. Valley High memory care. We're waiting structural steel and roof framing to be delivered right now, week of January 22nd. Exterior masonry walls are up. Interior framing, steel studs, electrical work, plumbing work is looking good in there. If you haven't been in and haven't had a chance, I don't know, Teresa, if you got a chance to walk around yesterday in there or not. Despite the fact that we're not right now able to get into the component that's new, there's a lot of available work that's being done on the interior currently. That project is still slated to be completed in fall of this year. Archive storage, so a small project. The demo is complete, the gravel driveway is in, the mechanical components are complete, the electrical is complete. The door opening to provide better access is open and framed and ready for the coiling door. Coiling door is ordered. I don't have a date, but I expect that to be in the next week or 2. Then what will be remaining then is the racking. Racking is still 4 weeks out. That's okay. We don't want to necessarily move the health department in February into that facility. And then we will be out for quotes for asphalt in March for that. And then that project will be wrapped up. I don't think you want me to go through the 7 projects that we're working on plans and specs. I'm happy to, but we have, it varies from rooftop equipment in this facility, parking lot renovations and EV infrastructure at this facility. We have building envelope work done at the Crystal Lake Public Health Department. Crystal Lake Public Health Department is looking at doing some interior renovations through ARPA funding. We've been working with them on that. So there's a myriad of those types of projects that we are beginning to work on or are working on currently.
You're talking about building plans at this point in time.
Correct.
Okay.
Typically, it's difficult to get, particularly for projects that include long lead time items, to try and get a project designed, let's say, and have it ready in, if we began work on any of these projects. First, we need funding, so we're looking at our cap plan to say, okay, we're going to fund this design this year. It doesn't take necessarily a year for a lot of these projects to design. Some of them take in that neighborhood when you factor in bidding and approvals, and then you start to begin with the long lead time items. So It really seems for projects that don't have an impetus of, hey, we need this today, such as a roof, we don't want to be in that position. We want to be able to program our work and be able to work through it methodically. So that's where we're at.
Questions? Thank you. Thanks for coming out. HR, do you want to go now, or do you want to go after executive session?
Get some now and later.
Okay.
Can I do
We'll
that?
give you 2 bites. Go right ahead.
This is just kind of an update. One is vacancy report. Our current numbers. Last report was in September. In September, on the back side, you can see where I kind of summarized every change. So in April, we had 108 vacancies. In July, 70, we had 74. In September, we had 63, and now we have 59. And that 59 includes a couple of brand new positions that came out in the budget this year. So the numbers are going down, which is good.
Wait, can I ask, what do you attribute that to? Is it just, I mean, is that just a general trend? Are we doing a better job in advertising and letting people know that there are vacancies? What, I mean, just thought process.
I think part of it is we did the compensation study. Our wages became more competitive. I think also, we just got an award. We're being recognized by the employees as a great place to work. So I think part of it is maybe a cultural perception by employees. Hopefully it's a reality that it's just becoming a better place to work. I mean,
And the compensation helps too.
We're working on benefits, we're working on wellness.
We filled several unionized vacancies with some of our new contracts. I'm thinking Circuit Clerk and DOT, and we had some openings there that have been filled up in the last 6 months.
You also had a huge list that used to be from the sheriff's department that isn't on this anymore.
But I was wondering, did we cut positions to how many? Were any positions, so like some of them that have been, there was discussion of ones that have been open for a long time, cutting them.
There were some that were cut.
We have 7 unfunded positions in sheriff's corrections. They're
Okay.
kind of on the list, but not really, because we don't have the money to fill them just yet. We'd have to get back into that.
They have 4 that they're getting ready to hire now in that unfunded category.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, yes. Sorry. My brain was somewhere else. I just want to give you an update. The paid time off for all act that we were still trying to figure out. We're almost there. We know that there are some people who currently don't get accruals for time off who are very part-time or per diem or registry who need this new accrual. So we've created the accrual code. They've started accruing as of January 1. Everybody else who already has accruals gets no additional accruals. It's just how they get to use their time. Nobody can use it until the end of March. So we've got some time. We've got a policy. Each department is kind of looking at what are the criteria, the time limits to request it. Because of our ordinance, we have more ability to be strategic about when we let people off for operations or safety needs. We can reject the request. So it's gone further. We're about ready to put out something. There's a couple more educational sessions being done by the Department of Labor that we have people attending, so we're still polishing, but we're getting much closer. We do know that there are several groups that need to start accruing, and they are accruing now. I wanted to there was a couple of years ago, I sat down with Joe Kropolsky and somebody else from DOT, and we created this long list of things that new supervisors should know. And it's a long list. And unfortunately, it takes days. And so it doesn't formally happen. So I had a great group of department heads and other managers come together and say, let's break this list down And we broke it down into 6 two-hour sessions, plus we broke it down between what ones are done countywide, which things should the departments need to do, and how quickly do they need to get them done in order to make a supervisor able to function properly and know what their legal responsibilities are. So that's really good. So the first of the 6 trainings will happen end of this month, and then we'll repeat those 6 trainings each year. So every year, every supervisor has 2 opportunities to get a review on FMLA, ADA, FOIA, open meetings, all the stuff that they should
Every
know.
supervisor goes.
They have an opportunity
It's
to.
just- It's available. It's just available. We always have some people moving into new supervisory roles periodically.
So
I would
that's
also
a good
hope that
thing.
even those people who have done it, after several years, go back, just
Oh,
to be
yeah.
And
refreshed. Okay.
there's lots of different examples, someone like Alex will be in a supervisory role, or is now and will be, so he doesn't need as much refreshing as somebody who coming from the
Understood.
outside.
Yeah.
But maybe he's not been in the interviewing capacity before, so he might want to go to legal interviewing strategies and, so that's something that's good. The employee wellness program, remember our goal was 750, we're only 56 short of that. And we have, I think, 4 testing events this month, 5 testing events this month. So if any of you are on our insurance and you haven't signed up for the wellness program, it's a good thing. It means that what it means for the county is instead of getting $200 back for each IPBC insured member to support our wellness programs, we'll get $400 back to support wellness programs. So that's huge. So we're trying to still get 56 more people signed up for the
I know who those are, I'm calling. More members.
We did start, and Pam, you were there when we talked about, we had a brainstorming group about working with different generations, and an employee development program and a mentorship program both kind of came out of this brainstorming group. The employee development program kicked off. We had 20 people, so we had 4 groups of 5 people from, I don't know, probably 17 different departments. And they were all working together on developing their own career development plan, getting support from each other. It's going to be a 12-month project. They meet 1 hour a month. There's some really cool little videos that we had recorded to begin the session. So that program kicked off, great kickoff with that. The mentorship program, we had an information session earlier this month. The deadline for applications is the 26th of this month. Next month, we'll be pairing people up and training them, and we'll start our mentorship program.
Did you get enough people to offering to be mentors?
We're taking applications now.
Okay,
So we'll know by the 26th of the deadline.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right. And then the only thing I have on my list is last year we applied for the Mental Health America, and we got the gold bell for mental health. The applications are open now. So I will be going back in and reapplying, hopefully for the platinum bell this year. I think there's some good things that we've done in the last year that would hopefully get us to the platinum level. So that's it, that's my report.
Questions?
Well, so the application process for mentors and mentorees, that's starting now, and how long do they have a month?
They have until the 26th.
Okay, so they have like
So, couple
two-ish
Friday-
weeks, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks from, yes.
And if
3
we
weeks.
don't see a good number that matches each other, have you thought of like what would be done if we don't have a good matching number?
We're hoping that we get at least 5 pairs. Again, it's our inaugural group.
Right.
We don't want
20.
20 pairs. So if we get
I get
5 pairs, that will be enough to look at how the program runs, what we need to do, and then they can kind of, will advertise through their successes.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
I think we'll get that.
Okay.
I'm not worried.
Okay, all right.
I'm not. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Don't go too far.
Okay.
Communications. As she gets her pad of paper.
All right, here I'm sending your electronic version right now. All right, let me get you the paper version. So for the members of the public at home who don't know me, my name is Vanessa Schuler. I'm pleased to do your communications report today. I apologize, I did not print on both sides of the paper, so this is killing some trees here. I do apologize. But we had a very good month, and we had a really good month last month too, but,
Maybe it's two.
there you go.
Thank you.
So the first thing up on our list is Communications Strategic Plan update. So Cheryl alluded a little bit to this already, but one of our communications goals is to assist the HR department as they develop projects for us in regards to recruitment. Well, one of the projects that we helped with was the career development program. HR commissioned some videos of different employees who were interviewed to discuss how they used HR-related programs to develop their careers and move forward within the organization. I'd like to vouch Kathy Bow in particular, who did a great job. Rock on, Kathy. But no, we did 4 of these different videos. We're going to be doing more in the coming months, and I personally found them very inspirational, and I hope the members of the program will as well. As far as other collaborations go, county administration has been working closely with the Emergency Management Agency to develop communications on asylum seeker-related matters. We did put out a statement together stating the county's position in regards to asylum seekers and that we are facilitating the efficient and safe transportation of asylum seekers to the consolidated resources of the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago. County administration is also collaborating with the Treasurer's Office on the Senior Tax Deferral Program. FYI, we put out 2 releases on that, and the Treasurer will be doing programs at local libraries to educate our senior population on how they can apply for these programs. So if you guys would please feel free to pass on this information to your constituents. We are also collaborating with the County Clerk's Office to distribute information regarding significant elections dates that are coming up. More to come on that. Campaigns of note, we're very proud to collaborate with Kane County to develop a joint press release regarding the county board's allocation of $1 million to the elimination of the Long Meadow Bridge toll. The story made WBBM, so if you look on your electronic version, there's a link to that, and you can listen to the story. Also, we did take the county board members' feedback in regards to the referendum question regarding the mental health board sales tax. We incorporated your suggestions into the frequently asked question page. And if you guys receive any additional feedback from your constituents or any questions that you feel that the public, needs to have answers to, please let me know. I'd be happy to update that page. It is a living document. Whew. All right, follower growth and reach. Excuse me. We are still growing on all of our channels. Reach this month on Facebook and on Twitter it was. Didn't do as well as last month, but that's because we had an off-the-charts post on Facebook that reached 32,000 people. Sometimes you just can't explain why people like certain posts. However, Instagram and LinkedIn did increase in reach compared to last month. You can see some of the top posts in regards to reach and engagement that are listed here. Feel free to peruse at your leisure, and if you have any questions for me, please let me know.
Thank you. Any questions?
Great job.
Thank you.
One of the things I wanted to mention is that we're going to change Alicia's title. Director of Public Affairs instead of Communications and Projects. And I think it's just a kind of a better reflection of the outward-facing communications, legislative, strategic planning focus. So we're going to start using that title in 2024.
Okay.
That's it. I didn't was nervous I cut you off.
No, you did not. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Director, on your title.
Thank you. Administrator report.
Me, okay, I want to touch on a couple things that aren't in the goals. We've talked about Alicia's title change. Cheryl mentioned all the training that she's got going. Scott, you want to mention quick the drainage map thing that's going on the 18th?
Yeah, so the GIS department's been working with our DOT staff to really assemble the drainage tiles that we have throughout the county. We have long legacy documents, some are hand-drawn, and we've been working on compiling all the information into one standard, I guess, map, if you will.
It can't be in boxes in people's basements.
I gotta tell you, this has been on the list of ultimately we'll get to's. I'm old. It's been a long time. So, kudos.
We need to get going before we lose people.
Yeah.
A lot of that historical knowledge. So they've been working diligently. It's a massive undertaking because you're talking bits and pieces of data from all these different sources,
back to 1900.
verifying it,
Pieces of paper.
stitching it together. So that's going. And that meeting that Pete's referred to is, I think it's going to be just the update of that. Next steps will be engaging our partners in the community, such as our drainage districts, our farm bureau, those people who physically know where those pipes are and have touched them. So it is a massive undertaking. It's a long process, and GIS is doing this in addition to all the other work that we're expecting them to do. So that's an important consideration.
You sold the bank building at Brenda Algonquin?
It's under contract. Yes, please report on that.
Yeah.
So 60-day due diligence period. On that note, we're turning on the utilities because right now it's been black, but it's going to be gas and electric. We're going to keep the water off for because we don't want to turn the water on. But we'll keep you posted on that. Hopefully, everything goes through.
Yeah, they're doing their due diligence, but it's a credit union, so it's good.
It's well suited for it. It has all the vaults and the safety deposit box still in it. I checked. There's no money left.
That's great. That is good.
Sure, there's no money left now.
Thursday, we should have a pretty brief cow meeting, but we are going to have Scott and Alicia kind of do an update on the strategic plan for everybody as we're hitting into the last year of this strategic plan. We'll reset the plan with a new board this time next year. So we'll kind of hit on some of the highlights of what we've accomplished and where we're going in the last 12 months. We had a discussion on ethics terms now, so as the new ethics commissions get seated, we can have them take up that ordinance and see if they want to make some recommendations there for you on that. Then I got my goals here. This is kind of for my benefit as much as anything. I like to keep myself and everybody who's involved, because certainly this isn't all my work by any stretch, but like to keep us on track in terms of where we're going on this. So a couple of things I thought maybe were worth noting, and I'd welcome comments and questions on anything. But the first one, the Advanced McHenry County program, with last month's allocation of $1 million to Kane County and the commitment of another $1 million in grants for the health department to move ahead on their strategic plan, another $225,000 MCDC. We're about done with allocations. I mean, we'll have to kind of let things reset and get into the summer and see how much is really there, but I don't think in terms of active solicitation of anything, we're about there.
We're going to have to apply for grants again. We're going to have to go back to applying for regular old grants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just mention, too, there was a lot of discussion last night at Public Health about how they're going through the process of awarding those grants, and it's very, very comparable to exactly what Finance and Audit did, the whole process of what's going on. And I thought what was interesting, which is what I'm sharing with you, is on the application, all of the entities will indicate whether or not they received advance grant monies through that process, and this is in addition to what they've already received. So we'll know, any organization that has already been a recipient of those dollars. So it's very well thought out. I was
Health
really
Department
impressed.
administration has done a good job. They work with Brown. The application process looks sharp and good looking documents. It's just going to kind of be in a mini Advanced McHenry County program to advance the 4 principal issues of the Health Department strategic plan.
And it's kind of being done again in coordination. I forgot, it's Northwestern, the Mental Health Board and the Department of Health are all kind of collaborating. So.
Internet, the third bullet there. We are going to be hosting, not running, but hosting a meeting next Wednesday. DCEO, Office of Broadband, is going to be in this venue hosting a meeting just to kind of, the state is sort of asking DCEO to get out and meet in the communities to double down on the value of internet, the need for internet, and what it's going to bring. So we've invited a little over 30 representatives from northern and western McHenry County, both public sector and private sector, to kind of come in here and talk with DCEO. DCEO has a kind of a meeting format. It's a 2-hour start to finish. They know what they're doing. We're going to review it with them again on Friday, but that is going to be happening next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, what time?
2 to 4. Anyone's welcome, but we're going to have school districts, townships, cities,
Fire districts, those
businesses,
kinds of,
yeah,
yeah.
right. What else did I highlight here? Well, we know that on the issue of, maintaining financial strength, it is an unknown how much we're going to yield from Lake County, but that Lake County Fed rental program is now underway, so we'll see how that works. Electric vehicle in our fleet. I think we're, Tom made a brief passing reference to that, but I believe we're going to be ready next month for kind of a presentation to this committee in terms of where we're at with, looking at what we're going to need to be doing in terms of infrastructure, the timeline for that. That infrastructure probably needs to precede actual vehicles. So we're going to look at that, how it's fitting into our capital plan, what the grant opportunities are available. So I'm hopeful that 4 weeks from now we can do that. That's kind of our plan. What else did I note? Well, we had a bullet on the third page about county population. And this is something that I just have a real desire to know and a curiosity. What is McHenry County's population? We all see the homes going up in a lot of different areas, single-family homes. And we've kind of challenged CMAP to come up with a better way of measuring the population, at least giving us some estimates. And they've been really open to this. They met with us last summer. They've been working on a development database that they're going to come out and roll out to McHenry County planners. All of our community development people from all of our municipalities, Shannon's pulling them all together on the 26th at Crystal Lake City Hall to kind of unveil this CMAP development database that they're putting together. And what it's going to involve is not only CMAP going out there and figuring out where development is taking place, but they're going to empower our staff in municipalities to report what's really taking place. And like Huntley, they've got so many parcels that are ready for development, but it's hard to, you could say I've got 4,000 parcels that are ready for development, but how many are really active in development, and what's the timing there? So we're going to sharpen that a little bit, and we're looking forward to that presentation. And Shannon's done a good job of putting that together. The Regional Training Center, we have 5 kind of founding members with the county and Lake in the Hills and Cary and McHenry and Woodstock and Algonquin. But we're now starting to have another, and those are people that put money in on the front end, right? But now I think it looks like we're going to have 6 additional member communities who are kind of paying by population, or paying by workforce population. How many are on their squad. Still other units are going to be paying on a kind of a per use basis, but we're getting that next level of membership involved. And those are going to start on January 31st, according to Sheriff. So good to get more activity there. We heard the range is going to be opening up April, May. Those were my main highlights. I don't know if there's anything else that you guys saw.
Questions for Pete?
We're just doing a lot. It's nice to see. I mean, people are busy. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We need to go into executive session to discuss union negotiations under 5 ILCS 120-2C2 and to review minutes from June 7th. Can I have that motion? By Teresa, seconded by Pam. I think we're supposed to do this by roll call. So Teresa?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Pam? Yes. And I'll vote yes. So everybody who's not involved, it's nice to see you.
Adios, muchachos.
We'll have to have Terry sign off as well.
Terry's not actually on. Say aye.
Aye.
Okay, you gotta switch
Back in the regular, and we have to talk about
how you can have them both.
Yeah, give the sheet back.
I get it all in there.
We have to make a motion to do 7 minutes of the full
Yeah, we
board.
got it.
Yeah, I know, wait, she's
Are
got
we back on?
to switch.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So I will make that
Well, we
motion.
gotta do roll call first. Roll call, Pam,
Pam Alta.
Teresa Marshall.
Matt Kunkel.
and I'm here, so we still have a quorum. And we're now back in session, regular session. Can I have a motion to approve but not release the minutes from June of
So moved.
executive session? By Pam, seconded by Matt. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those are approved. We have no other action to take from the executive session. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
By Pam, seconded by